And the thing is that, it seems to happen when kids hit high school. Like you begin to see them kind of separate out a little bit in junior high school, and then
Right.
it's more obvious in high school, and then college it's just full blown. So you think that's because as you get older, you're constantly being told then, or some type of image is shown that this is who you are, and
Right.
this is who this person is. Okay.
But we have to buy into it. That's the thing. We have to internalize those things, and I think there's a difference between being prejudiced and racist.
Yeah.
They are extremes, and we all have prejudices because we're humans.
Yeah.
We even have preferences. You can call it preference, you can call it prejudice.
That's true.
But I think if we are concerned about other people, we have to. If we want to self-actualize and become the whole persons that we want to be, then if you believe racism is a bad thing, then we each as individuals have to get that out of our soul.
So do you really think that after you have been, say, indoctrinated with, race, that an adult now, we're not talking about children, because, see, I think children is the hope, okay?
Right,
But do you
yeah.
think as an adult that you can actually revert back to where you don't see the color of a person's skin?
I think you can try.
Okay.
I think that would be the ultimate goal.
Mm-hmm.
I really think that will be the ultimate goal. And I'll give you an example before I get off.
Okay.
One time I was in Walmart,
Okay.
and I was in the sporting goods section, and a little boy, his older brother ran away from him, and he wanted somebody to throw the ball to. A ball. So he threw the ball back to me, and I threw it back and forth to him, just playing.
Yeah.
And he just got the biggest kick out of it. His older brother came back, and he ran to his dad. He said, "Ooh, I'm telling Daddy you're playing with a nigger."
Oh, my gosh. When did this happen?
This was probably about 5 years ago.
Wow.
And the little boy, and I just looked at him. I just told him, I said, just go ahead. I don't want you to get in any trouble. Go ahead, see your dad.
Wow.
And the look
That
on his
is
face
deep.
just kind of,
Yeah.
from the innocence to, he's like, why? He's a nice guy.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. I tell you, that's why I wanted to have this conversation today, because it's the elephant in the room, and we keep
It
trying to
is.
pretend that it's not there.
It is. People say that we live in a post-racial society. That's
Oh,
the
please.
biggest load of crap.
Well, listen, caller, thank you so much for calling
Thank
in.
you.
All right, bye-bye.
take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, caller, you're on the air.
Hey, Tazim, it's Richard.
Hey, Richard, how's my
Hey.
tree going?
Oh, bad news on that. The house still fell through.
Oh, well, you
Yeah.
know what? That's okay, because energetically you were going to give me a tree.
Well,
So-
my wife and I are we're going up to the mountains tomorrow. We're going to look for a new place. So, you'll have a tree eventually.
Okay, now I'm going to hold you to that, too.
Yeah, okay. And I think we're going to upgrade. We're going to get a full acre, so we should have a lot more trees.
Oh,
But
wow.
But,
Okay.
the reason I called, I think you've set a record tonight. I don't think I've ever heard so many calls come into your show in 1 hour before.
And you know what? You are so right. I had to delete out commercials. And the beautiful thing about it is that for some reason this time, people are willing to talk about it. Because, I've done shows like this before, and I've got about 2 calls.
Yeah.
And I think that now people are willing or maybe feel comfortable enough with me to know that it's okay for us to have this conversation, and we need to have the conversation.
Well, I just hope that somebody at WOIC is listening tonight, and they will give you a 2-hour show, because
Oh, you are so sweet.
I've been saying this for a long time, that your show is, it should be 2 hours. 1 hour is just not enough. This show's been taken off, and it's been taken off like crazy, and you're ready for at least 2 hours. And I hope Frank Knapp's listening. You need to know guy, because he's got 2 hours, and basically nobody listens to that show.
Oh gosh, Richard, listen, Frank. I didn't say that. You are so crazy.
Okay, well, I'm headed up to the mountains tomorrow morning, and I'm going to find a new place. And I've got a tree. If I find a good oak, you like oak trees, right?
Yes, I do. Well, I love all trees, but if you
Okay.
give me a choice,
Okay, a hardwood, some kind of hardwood, like a maple or something like that.
yeah, that would be beautiful.
Okay, I'll keep it in mind, and I will talk to you probably next Monday or Tuesday when I get back.
I love you so much, Richard. You are so sweet. Thank you, hon.
All right,
All
bye.
right, bye-bye. Okay, caller, you're on the air.
Hey, Tazima, how are you?
Hey, how have you been?
Good.
And we're on the air. No.
Right.
This is a joke, people. He'll call and say, are we on the air? How are you doing?
I'm good.
Good, good. So are you colorblind or do you
Oh,
see?
no, I see color.
Okay.
I just, I think we should all be proud of our cultures.
I do too.
I don't, and I definitely always, as a rule, everybody I meet always has the benefit of the doubt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a chance to be a good person.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a good person, I don't care how much money you got or what the color of your skin is,
Right.
or anything. You're
Right,
a good person.
right.
You're worth it to me as a value to keep close.
Yeah. That's beautiful. I'm gonna cry. No. No, really, that's a beautiful thing to say. That's a beautiful thing to say. Well, anyway, thank you so much. It's good to hear from you too.
It's good to talk to you.
All right. I'll talk to you, I hope, tomorrow, right? I'll be on the air. No, I don't need to prod up my callers like that. You better call in tomorrow. No.
I will.
All right, caller. Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, you guys. You know what? I want to say this because we have about a minute left. So I do want to say this. I'm so thankful that all of you did call in because what that does say is that we are getting closer to that place where we're able to look at ourselves and we're able to put our stuff on the table and not be afraid or ashamed of it. Race is the elephant in the room, and you can't get away from it if you were born in this country. And we know that. So the only way that we can deal with it is we have to be willing to heal from it. And that can be painful. It could be really painful because it requires us to trust. It requires us to put down our baggage. It might even require us to cry, which crying is not a bad thing. But I do want to say this real quick before we go. One of the reasons why you see a lot of African Americans stand behind this president is because when you see, and this isn't to knock the Tea Party, but really, for African Americans, the visual doesn't work. When you see a cat in a three-corner hat and wooden shoes, okay, it takes us back to a whole nother era, and we're not really happy with that. And we also remember a lot of times when black men were held accountable for things that they weren't guilty of. They were blamed for something that they weren't guilty of, and they could lose their lives. So when we see the president depicted as a witch doctor or hanging or as a monkey, it really, really, really is offensive. And it's not enough for people to say, well, I belong to this group, but everybody in the group isn't like that. We've got to be a little bit more sensitive, a little bit more realistic. But saying that, I want to say this. Simply because someone who isn't African American criticizes this president, it does not automatically mean that they're racist. It doesn't automatically mean that they don't like him because he's black. They may genuinely not like his policies. And that's the difference. So I just hope that we can finally get to a place where, we do judge each other based on our character. But one of the things that I love, especially about America, because I've been outside of America, is the fact that we are all these different groups. And we have all these different hues. That's to be celebrated. To me, that's God. We're not all this, these gray cookie cutter types. So celebrate who you are and don't let race keep you from knowing another person. Anyway, you've been listening to Evolve, 12:30 a.m. WOIC. And I'm going to end like I always do now. Do something good for yourself. Do something good for a loved one. And be kind to a stranger. Good evening.